Alright, the Tetsuya with the 7 pillars are here, so let's begin. In which here's the starter, which is Magic World. Just like every other generic flag, you can only play generics and the respective world cards. And into the grade 1 with K-Power, Honorable Academy Tetsuya Kurodake, which has the skill of Auto when rolled upon by the grade 2 Dancing Contest victor. Tetsuya, look at top 5 cards of your deck to choose either one order card or one card that is 72 pillars that is not Sentinel, reveal it and then put it in your hand of course of your deck. Typical grade 1 ride line that just basically does searching. And then we go to the grade 2 with 10 K-Power, Dancing Contest victor Tetsuya, which has the exact same skill except that you had to ride the grade 3 Tetsuya. Except you pick 2 cards instead, one goes to hand and one goes to drop, and of course shuffle the deck. Which in this deck's case, the drop zone is going to be very helpful because you're going to be able to recycle from the drop. In which we go to the grade 3 with 13 power, once the whole world joined the craze, Tetsuya, which has the skill of Count, Vanguard. Each turn you can play 2 orders that are different names, which definitely helps with the Magic World deck since it plays with a lot of spells. With the second skill of Auto, when placed on Vanguard, choose either one normal unit or one set order from a drop zone and put it to your hand, which is of course very nice, especially recycling your discard fodder. With the third skill of the skill named Great Spell Saturday Night Devil's Fever, where Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks, costs +1, choose up to one grade 1 or less 72 pillars that is not Sentinel and call it to rearguard. But if your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3, you can also add this extra cost of putting 2 72 pillars without Sentinel from a drop zone to the bottom of the deck, and then if you do, choose 2 cards instead and call it to rearguard. Basically this just turns into a 4 attack that lets you recycle, which is very helpful. And on ride it lets you recycle as well. Overall pretty nice, but everything revolves around support. In which now we go to the support, starting off with the set order support Demon Rel Artifact Gamin, which is a grade 1 with K-Power and the skill is Auto. When placed on rearguard, cost pay 1 gauge, search your deck for 1 set order, reveal it and put it in your hand and push up your deck. This is just absurdly good just for being able to search up a set order directly from your deck, which in many ways is better than the cards in the 6 main nations, even Brandgate itself. And now we go to the set order Noisy Dance Room, which is a grade 3, which is also 72 pillars, and you literally just play for free. So the skill is Count Order Zone. If you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Tetsuya, all your front row 72 pillars get intercept and also 5k power, active on your opponent's turn as well. Pretty nice for some extra defensive value and also in a way defensive value. In which the second skill is Act Order Zone. Once per turn, cost pay 1 gauge, choose a 72 pillars on your rearguard and return it back to the hand. This could be very nice just to reactivate some on play skills, so I would actually make use of this. And now it's time to Buddy Call Demon Lord Asmodai, which is a grade 1 with Power. With the skill Auto, when placed on rearguard, cost +1 and then perform one of the following. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire all rearguards in that one circle. This is actually pretty nice to bypass any type of chosen by card ability. And as for the second section, search your deck for up to 170 pillars order card, reveal it and then put it in your hand, of course shuffle your deck. This is overall already pretty nice, just being able to just basically retire and get over basically cannot choose part, or just being able to search for the archetype order cards. In which the second skill is Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks at least a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Tetsuya, this card gives us 5k power in the battle, but if you have a second Omnilord Asmodai plus 10k instead, either a 13k or 18k attacker, still pretty nice overall, but mainly use it for the first skill. And then we continue with his other variations with Let's Play Asmodai, which is a grade 1 with K-Power and the skill is Auto. When placed on rearguard, choose up to 1 Asmodai card from your drop zone and put it face down as gauge, which gauge charging is always pretty nice. With the second skill of Auto, when this card intercepts, if your Vanguard's Tetsuya, shield plus 5k in the end of the battle. Remember, your set order is going to let this intercept, so being a 10k shield on its own and then plus the order card being 15k, pretty nice. And then we go to Dance Asmodai, which is grade 2 with 10k power, and you pay 1 gauge to call this card, which has a skill Auto when placed on rearguard to draw a card. It's of course here if you need it, but do be careful with deck out in this deck because of course it's a buddy fight deck. And then we go to Art of Body Duplication Asmodai, which is grade 1 K power and discuss. Act Rearguard. Cost, retire this unit. Choose a Asmodai with a different card name from this one with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop zone and call it to rearguard. This is just very helpful to basically switch back and recycle those Asmodais that you actually want. So not much to say here. In which we go to the ultimate form of Asmodai, second Omni Demon Lord Asmodai, which is a grade 3 with 13k power and the call cost is pay 2 gauges. And the skill is Count Rearguard. You cannot call units with the same card name as this card, and if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard Tetsuya, plus 10k power, active on your opponent's turn as well. So on its own it's already 23k beater, but plus the order card, that's another 5k. So that's already pretty strong. With the next skill of Count Rearguard, during your opponent's turn, when this card would leave the rearguard circle, you may discard a card from your hand instead. Good thing that you can use your drop zone as a resource in this deck, in which we go to the double attack skill, auto rearguard. Once per turn at the end of this unit attack, if you have at least a grade 3 Vanguard that is standing, cost count +1, stand this unit. The name of the attack kind of says it, so being a multi-attacker, potentially 5 attacks now is pretty nice. And in a way 6 because of Tetsuya. And finally, to the last skill, auto rearguard. At the end of this unit attack the rearguard, retire that attack unit. In a way, it can feel a little wasteful for being a big beatstick that could just attack anything and just destroy it. And also, in a way, it can annoy your opponent because it gets rid of those cannot be chosen type abilities, but still can be very useful just because of that. It's another form of removal, even though you are in a way kind of wasting an attack on it. Now, if you can't reach your opponent's Vanguard with it, yeah, sure, just attack your opponent's rearguard and that one auto dies. Overall, this is just basically your main rearguard attacker and your main partner in crime in his ultimate form. And now we go to the spells. We start off with Mind of Hand Core, which is a grade 1 normal order, and you play this if you have at least 2 72 pillar rearguards. Choose up to 3 70 pillar cards from your drop zone and put them as face down gauges. Gauge charging is always pretty nice, so no reason not to run this. In which we go to Devil's Advantage, which is a grade 1 normal order, and you play it by paying 1 gauge. Choose 2 70 pillar normal units with the same name without Sentinel from the drop zone, and if you choose 2, put them to your hand. Considering that you have a lot of duplicate Asmodais, even though they don't count as the same as each other, and you do have drop zone manipulation in this deck. And then we play Solomon's Shield, which is a Blitz order. It's a Sentinel, has the Nullify ability, with the unique part of choose a normal order from a drop zone, put it to your hand, and then remove this card. No reason not to run this to reuse your spells. And then we got Nice One, which is a grade 1 normal order, and you play it by paying 1 gauge. Literally just draw 2 cards. A Pot of Greed with a cost, which is always nice to run anyway. And now it's time for the final phase, Diabolic Hardcore, which just like other impacts, you cannot play it, and the ability must not be resolved during the fight. So the skill is auto hand at the end of the turn. If your opponent has 4 or less cards in the damage zone, while you have 3 or more 72 pillar rearguards, cost this card, pay 3 gauges, and say final phase, choose one of your opponent's vanguards and deal 1 damage to it. In a way, better than just saying attack your opponent because your opponent could block it, but it does have that restriction of needing those specific number of rearguards, so I do give it a little bit of a pass on that restriction. And finally, here are the higher rarity cards. Always cool to see, especially that secret rare where it's partner in crimes forever. And next week we got a new Dragon Empire ride line that looks like Tachikaze theme, but it's only 5 cards, which kind of worries me. And so that's it for these reveals of the Tetsuya ride line. What do you guys think of it? Overall, it's just once again cool stuff to see, especially with Magic World focusing more on order cards, which makes sense. But once again, we get a lot more better generic orders in Buddy Fight than the actual main nations. But still overall pretty cool, especially references to the Buddy Fight anime. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.